They call him 67, but behind that number lies a life more powerful than any legend. Now let's uncover the real story behind the man who became an icon. Childhood. The beginning of a spark. From the moment Ethan Vale opened his eyes to the world, he was different. A little boy with bright blue hair, wide, curious eyes, and a quiet heart that listened more than it spoke. Growing up in a small town, he often stood alone, not because he was unwanted, but because he was always lost in thoughts far bigger than his age. At school, he would sit by himself, watching the other kids play while he quietly tried to understand how everything worked. One day, while exploring his grandmother's attic, he found something strange. A single white glove. He didn't know why, but something about it felt magical, almost like it belonged to him. And soon everyone realized that Ethan wasn't just different, he was gifted. Numbers, puzzles, patterns. They came to him effortlessly. But behind his soft smile was a boy who simply wanted to understand the world. The moment everything changed came on a normal afternoon. A classmate struggled with a difficult challenge. And for the first time, Ethan stepped forward and helped. That tiny moment of courage created something unforgettable. Kids began gathering around him, laughing, learning. And one day, during a silly joke, they gave him a nickname. 67. He didn't fully understand it then, but the name stuck. And in front of his mirror that night, wearing his little white glove, he made a promise. One day, I'll mean something. Teenage years. Becoming Ethan Vale. As Ethan entered his teenage years, the world began shaping him, but he shaped himself even more. He stood taller, spoke louder, and chased his curiosity instead of hiding it. He wandered into competitions, solving challenges with astonishing speed. People asked, "How do you do it?" But Ethan only smiled. "I listen. Numbers speak if you let them." He spent his days building small inventions, helping neighbors, teaching younger kids, and turning his strange uniqueness into something powerful. Slowly, 67 wasn't just a nickname anymore. It was becoming a persona. He wasn't just smart. He was inspiring. He wasn't just different. He was unforgettable. And in every picture of his teenage years you can see it. A boy transforming into someone the world would one day follow. Adulthood, the rise. At 22, Ethan left home with nothing but a backpack filled with dreams. He worked in a small tech studio, living on cheap meals and sleepless nights. But inside that tiny room he created something that would change everything. The 6 right pointing arrow 7 challenge. 6 tasks, 7 days. A simple idea that exploded across the world. Suddenly, Ethan Vale was everywhere. Interviews, stages, screens, magazines. Millions were inspired by the blue-haired genius with the white glove. They called him the Mind of 67. But fame came with pressure. And pressure came with pain. Behind the lights and applause, Ethan was fading. Burnout swallowed him, and at 30, he disappeared. No posts, no videos, no explanations. The world panicked. But Ethan was rebuilding, not himself, but something greater. The return, purpose over fame. At 32, Ethan came back, not as a celebrity, but as a leader. He opened the 67 House, a free center for gifted children. A place where kids who felt different finally belonged. He taught them puzzles, creativity, resilience. But more importantly, he taught them to believe in themselves. He became a mentor, a brother, a hero. And while fame tried to reclaim him, Ethan ignored it. He cared only for the smiles in those classrooms. This was his purpose. This was his 7. The final road. The end of a life, not a legacy. At 41, on the morning he was set to open the third 67 House, rain covered the streets. Ethan was driving, smiling softly, rehearsing his speech in his mind. But fate had other plans. His car lost control. And just like that, the world lost its 67. In his pocket, folded tightly, was a note that read, "If life begins at 6, it completes at 7. Keep going." 67. The world mourned. Millions lit blue candles. Children raised drawings of him. Cities projected a glowing 67 into the sky. But even then, Ethan's story didn't end. Legacy. The eternal 67. Today, his teachings live in every 67 house around the world. His message spreads with every child he once inspired. And his symbol, the bright blue 67, continues to shine as a reminder that a quiet boy with blue hair who found a white glove in an attic, who believed in kindness, who listened to numbers, who helped others rise, became a legend. A legend that never truly died. Because whenever someone refuses to give up, whenever someone chooses courage over fear, whenever someone decides to keep going, they whisper, "For 67."